Um, Good afternoon. Welcome to the May 2025 CLEG meeting. My name is Cedric Sutherland from the Arlington County Planning Division, and I am the staff liaison to this group. The purpose of the CLEG meeting is to provide a forum for the restaurant community and residents to address concerns and issues that may arise from the concentration of live entertainment uses in the Clarendon neighborhood. I would like to thank everyone for attending. Before we begin, I would like to cover a few items to orient everyone to the virtual environment. Today's meeting is available to stream from the county website via Teams link. There's also a dial-in phone option for those who wish to use it. Or if you lose internet connectivity during today's meeting, please reconnect with us by phone. Please keep your video turned off and microphone muted until you are called on. These tools are located as icons in your toolbar. If you do not see this toolbar, try tapping or clicking on the center of your screen and it will pop up. Public comments must be shared verbally for the record. When called upon to speak, you must unmute yourself by clicking on the microphone. We do not have the ability to unmute you. If you are dialing by phone, press *6 to unmute. When you are finished speaking, please mute your microphone again. Lastly, excuse me. Lastly, this is a public forum. Today's meeting will be recorded and posted to the county website for all information associated with today's meeting, whether written or spoken, is subject to the Freedom of Information Act requirements. All right. I would like to start the meeting off by taking the roll call of representatives from the member establishments and community groups. I'll go down my list. I see someone from Barbell is logged in. And also, if you represent more than one establishment, please list all the establishments that you're representing. Next, Lion Hall.
Yeah, Sean from Lion Hall, Liberty Tavern, and Northside Social.
Thank you. I see a representative from O'Sullivan's on the line. Do we have somebody from Spider Kelly's?
Yeah, John LeMay from Spider Kelly's.
All right, thank you. Mexicali Blues. All right, next, Don Tito. All right, I see Ferris from Wilson Hardware and Laley. Buena Vida. All right, Ambar.
Yes, Pete Zutis from Amber.
All right, thank you. Check. I believe I saw Patrick on the line from Renegade. Check. Yeah, I see Patrick from Renegade. I see somebody is representing Clarendon Ballroom. I see Andrew from Smokecraft. Anyone from Cocoa Bees?
This is Chad with Clarendon Ballroom and Cocoa Bees.
Okay, thank you. Be Live, or I'm sorry, Nettie's, which is formerly Be Live. All right, East West Cafe. All right, and lastly, Mr. Days. I'll check back at the end of the meeting as people may file in throughout the meeting. All right, I see John from Lion Village. Anybody else from Lion Village?
Yeah, Andrew Rood, Lion Village.
And Jay Brodsky.
All right, thank you. Lion Park. All right, Clarendon Courthouse. All right, Ashton Heights. All right, the Clarendon Alliance. All right, the Chamber of Commerce. All right, and anyone else here who is not a part of an establishment or community group wishes to announce yourselves. All right, that concludes the roll call. Again, I'll take roll again to for those who have not shown themselves present at this time. Let me pull up presentation. All right. Somebody give me a thumbs up if they can see the slide.
We can see it.
All right, thank you. All right. So again, welcome to the spring meeting of the Clarendon Live Entertainment Work Group. Let's see. Today I've done introductions, and we'll go through staff updates from public safety, as well as public health, zoning, code enforcement, and myself. From planning, then we'll receive community feedback, and then any feedback from the restaurant operators, and then we'll wrap up. All right, so I would like to start with public safety. Aaron Miller, Deputy County Manager for Public Safety. I would like him to go first, and then he can introduce police and fire. We'll move from there.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. As Cedric mentioned, my name is Aaron Miller. I'm the Deputy County Manager for Public Safety in Arlington. I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us for our CLEG meeting. Nice to see you all again, so many familiar faces. Last time I was here, I talked to you a little bit about some additional public safety resources that we would see out during nightlife, to include additional resources from the fire marshal's office, from our code enforcement agencies, etc. Those have been out now for a while, and we continue to add additional times on the schedule to help support public safety, growing crowds, and make sure that everybody stays safe. To date, been fairly successful, one, in making sure that we head off a number of incidents from unruly patrons. We appreciate everybody's assistance with that, but also in making sure that quality of life issues, both for owners, operators, and for the community, are well balanced. So everything from being able to quickly intervene when you've got problem situations, again, also to handling anything that our owners and operators may need, and to help create a very vibrant Clarendon live entertainment group. I want to say thank you to our public safety partners, particularly the police and fire marshal, as they have really stepped up in a number of ways to help make sure that we continue to have the community that keeps everybody's needs in balance. So that's all I've got, Cedric. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll go to the police to see if they have anything in particular they want to announce or highlight since the last time we met.
Hi, it's Lieutenant Christine Riccio with the police department. Since the last time, it seems like the last couple of meetings, unfortunately, I seem to be providing updates on who the new contact person will be from the police department. Our latest, Corporal Hernandez, has just been promoted to Sergeant Hernandez and has been transferred to patrol. So we are in a in-between stage right now until we have a new dedicated sworn officer in the unit. But good news, Miss Renika Semalenge, who is returning from leave, will be back in-house as of mid-May. We will be getting her up to speed on things, and we'll be coming out every couple of weeks to touch base with all the restaurants and also updating you as to who the new contacts will be as we move forward. But thanks to everyone for your patience as we work through the staffing on our end.
All right, thank you. Next, fire.
Good evening, Captain William Dwyer with the Arlington County Fire Marshal's Office. There's a two-pronged effort on our part to assist with the Clarendon nightlife. One is we obviously do our annual inspections that our inspectors do, and we follow up on any fire code violations that we find in order to gain compliance. As of last audit of the partners that we are working with here in the public, there were relatively few, if any, violations that were corrected of the establishments that are open and normally operating. Obviously, there are a couple of establishments that are going through transition right now, and that's going to be more of a code enforcement and building department issue. But for the ones that are open and operating, we have very good reports, and we have shared them with the CLEG in general. Now, as to the twice a month presence of FMs, along with ACPD for the Clarendon Nightlife Detail and code enforcement inspectors, we've had 4 sessions of that since the beginning of it, and we are continuing with that. Sometimes it'll be on a Friday night, sometimes a Saturday, sometimes a Sunday. Typically, what we have done is gone out ahead of the regal amping up of the night, and we will make sure that the management and security know that we are out and about that evening and that we're there as a resource for them if they have any overcrowding or egress or other types of concerns that we might be able to help with. And then that we do a couple of more patrols like that through the night. And for the rest of the time, we work with ACPD, assisting them in any way that they need exterior to the building. I can't say for the 4 times that we have had our enforcement, it has been positive. The times that I personally have been out, I've been met with nothing but courtesy from all of the business owners and the public as well. And it has been beneficial, I believe, both for them and for us. I have personally not been involved with any noise or quality of life complaints. I do not know if any have been lodged beyond my interactions with the definite, with the various establishments. However, I believe that what we're doing is having a positive effect, building good relationships with the businesses and with the public. And so I thank you all very much.
Thank you. Next, we'll have update from public health.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Candace Wooden. I am the Environmental Health Supervisor for the Environmental Health Program. The Environmental Health Program, we license and inspect all of the food establishments. So we conduct our routine inspections throughout the year. So you are familiar with our staff and you have assigned inspectors for each of your food establishments. And we have been involved in some of the other inspections related to noise and just general inspections related to Clarendon Live Entertainment. Under our umbrella is also the Vector Control Program, which you can, I have a slide up right now that just talks about the services that we provide. This is not an enforcement program. This is an education program where we have staff on hand that can come out and identify where rodents or certain insects are entering your facility and help you with getting appropriate treatment for these vectors. As a reminder, please make sure if you're going to leave your doors open, your windows open, because it is nice right now and we're seeing a lot of windows and doors open, that you turn on your air curtains to prevent insects and rodents from entering your facility. Also, please make sure that you're maintaining your grease containers outside, that they're on hard surfaces, that they're being maintained clean and in good repair. Also, make sure your trash receptacles, the lids are tightly fitted. If the lids start to have holes in them or the rats have chewed through the lids, then call the company that you work with and have them replaced. And then making sure that they have drain plugs to prevent the rodents from entering the trash bins. This helps out the restaurants, all of your neighboring restaurants and the residents. So please, please maintain those trash areas. Keep your air curtains on. And and make sure that you have a certified food manager present during all hours of operation. All right.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that overview. Bring up. So next, we have an update from code enforcement.
Good afternoon. My name is Ben Sliman. I'm the supervisor for code enforcement. I'm going to provide an update on the effort that we took for the past few months regarding the CLEG. Starting March, we created a brochure and we provided information in this brochure to the business owners. We put some code enforcement information and fire safety information from the fire department. And we provided these brochure to all the businesses in the Clarendon area. And then we established a contact with the managers, and we provide them we coach them on how the noise, the safety, the egress, and all the necessary things that they need to cover. And then along with the fire marshal and the police, we completed bi-weekly inspection. And we provided information throughout those inspection too. And so far, the response was positive. We have not had any complaints. And we're trying to build a relationship with these business owners. And so far, it's been positive as far as we know. And as of today, it is. I'll say it's a win-win effort for us for this effort. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ben. All right, next, we'll have somebody from zoning.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Shura, and I'm a zoning inspector with Arlington County Zoning Division. Myself and Noah Williams went out in March and kind of introduced ourselves to the business owners and kind of told them about, what the use permit conditions are and what we're looking for when we come out in order to achieve compliance. And I would say from our experience this past March, it was very positive, and I think we did well in establishing and forging new partnerships and collaboration with the business owners in the Clarendon Live Entertainment Group.
All right. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
All right. Next is me with updates for planning. So first, I would like to note the upcoming hearing for the county board review of the live entertainment permits are scheduled for Tuesday, May 13th at 6 p.m. at the county board's recess meeting. Currently, this item is first of the regular hearing items. However, there may be consent items pulled from the Saturday meeting that will go before this. So I will keep you guys updated, especially the restaurant owners, as to what time we anticipate actually having this item heard by the board. Additionally, attendance is required for the establishment operators. Either the owner or somebody with management authority should be there to speak to any issues that may arise with your particular establishment. You can participate in this meeting in person or virtual. In addition, I'll follow up with you later this week, so you can so you can provide me information, the staff who will be there, and how you intend to attend the meeting. All right.
Hey,
In
Cedric,
terms of, yeah.
it looks like Andrew has his hand raised.
Hi, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew.
No, I did not raise my hand.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me take it down.
Yeah,
Thanks.
this is the first time. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question is simply why is it we are being required to attend this board meeting when this has always been a consent item unless there's an issue with a specific establishment that would require it to move to the in-person meeting? It just seems like this is something that it shouldn't be required of 20 plus businesses to show up on a consent item, and what has changed and why this is no longer a consent item, especially after the testimony from all your county people saying that everyone's in good compliance and having no issues at this time.
Well, I think the board wants to hear about our efforts and what's been going on. They heard a lot over the past year about the noise complaints, and this is their first opportunity to address it, especially directly with operators. So it's important that all operators be there. Unfortunately, we can't parse out who or what. There hasn't been specific ones identified as this or that, and so they just want to have a general conversation. But through that conversation, somebody may say something about your establishment that may prompt a board member to have a question, and somebody should be there from in the particular establishment to speak to it and respond to it. And that's why your presence is being requested.
Again, this is the first time that this has been required, and I think that if you have specific noise complaints or specific complaints against specific establishments, that is documented. So I think this is I just wanted to raise in front of everyone that I think this is a major inconvenience for establishments that are in compliance and have not received noise complaints or anything else. It is, we have events, we have catering, we have service. This is something that is, I understand this is you guys are requiring it, but I just don't understand why all of a sudden this is a change that isn't deemed necessary. I hear what you're saying, but as I've said repeatedly in these meetings, if you have problems with specific establishments, that those should be addressed with those specific establishments and not with the group as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward, in terms of the county board meeting for the general public, you are welcome to provide public comment. You can do that through the county board webpage, and select the button that says request to speak for the May 13th county board hearing, as well as you can attend this in person and virtual. If you cannot be present for that meeting, you're welcome to submit letters or emails if you're unable to attend by emailing the county board at countyboard@arlingtonva.us. Next, I want to have a discussion about tips training. What is it? I know most of the restaurants know what it is, but just for the general public, tips training was founded in 1982. It's a skill-based training program that is aimed at preventing intoxication, drunk driving, and underage drinking. TIPS equips individuals with the knowledge and confidence to identify and address potential alcohol-related issues. Live entertainment conditions require establishments to have their staff who serve alcohol have this training and certification. And so one of the things that have come about during the routine inspections is that some establishments may be behind on their TIPS training. And while through that process, you're able to cure that issue. Staff would like to know: is there any way that the county can help better engage or try to help facilitate the TIPS training, so that establishments are have them more readily available and have them done, not throughout their process and in between the times of inspections. So I'll direct this to restaurant establishments. Anybody who wants to raise a hand or weigh in and provide comment. Yes, Andrew.
I'll just say that we've hold biannual TIPS training classes at Smokecraft, and we've sent out emails to other establishments on the CLEG list inviting all staff to join us when we hold them. So we're happy to continue to do that when we hold our next class. The costs, the challenges with TIPS training is the cost per employee is expensive to do it, and with high turnover in the industry, it can be tough and challenging to keep up with it, especially when there are limited number of classes and in-person classes that are available out there. So, but I will be sure to email out when we hold our next class, probably sometime midsummer.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. And I encourage all the restaurant operators to work together. Not only on this issue, but many more issues that go on within the neighborhood.
これは
Patrick.
レコーディングと文字起こし。
だからレコーディングしたらみんなに今この会議をレコーディング開始しました。バーンと表示されるからことだ。
Hello. Thanks, Tom. Thank you. Patrick, you have your hand up.
Yeah. My landlord has contacted me twice because he keeps getting told that we don't have our TIPS training, or we're in violation of TIPS training. I spoke to my general manager and he pulled up all of our cards. They're good till November. So I don't know where the disconnect is. But I'd sure like to know, what more I can do, or should I like start the classes now, or should I wait till November when everyone's card expires? We all did it at the same time last time, and so all of our cards are going to cascade in November.
Okay. That I'm not sure. But you should have them before they expire. And I will recommend, I will say that the next review of the CLEG will be an administrative review next May. So I would suggest, you try to get them in before November, but definitely between the time that we come out for inspections again. I think that's important. And Patrick, I will follow up with you personally to hook you up with the zoning inspector so you guys can work that issue out.
Okay.
Is there
one last question? Is it routine to call people's landlords because he feels like we're in violation and could somehow lose our income, and he's very upset about it?
Right. I understood. Aaron, sure. Can you explain how notice of violations are issued?
Yes, sir. Which establishment is this for?
This is Renegade.
Renegade. So do you have you said you have tips trainings right now. Just send me what you have to my email address. I think I gave it. I don't know who I spoke to when I was there on March 29th, but just
Okay.
send that to my email address, what you have.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Right. Yeah, and Aaron, to follow up, when notice of violations go out, they go to the property owner.
Yes, they go to the property owner and registered agent.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other establishments or restaurants that may have a question or may have a follow up or suggestion? Yes, Clarendon Ballroom.
Yeah, sorry, just a quick question. The tip certified is different than the ABC RSAP training, right?
That I'm not sure. Can anybody from police speak to that? I'll have to follow up with you on that question. What was the ABC one?
So in the past, we used to do the ABC, the RSVP training, which is like for bartenders.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure, because I did both programs, so I know we're covered at least. But I just want to make sure, like in the future, do I only got to do one or just both, or which one's a proper one to use?
Does the ABC program cover all people who serve alcohol? It's
Correct.
not everybody it does. So I think that will satisfy this condition. It's some training that makes people aware or servers aware of how to serve alcohol appropriately, how to identify when a person may be intoxicated, and how to safely remedy that issue. So I think that was sacrificed, but some type of training or certification about safe serving of alcohol is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Cedric, I'll just point out also there in the last year with TIPS, there have been some issues with their program itself and getting certifications out in a timely manner. So our trainer has conducted Serve Safe alcohol classes from the National Restaurant Association as an alternative, which is essentially the same. So if those, if they go hand in hand, then it's the what is the best alcohol training program that's available.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that information. Last call. Anyone else who may have a suggestion or question regarding this topic? All right. Next, I have some reminders. As always, please sit down with your staff, review your live entertainment conditions. I will note with this review, staff is making technical updates to correct permitted uses that were included in the conditions during the overhaul of the conditions in 2022. All establishments in the conditions it noted that all establishments can have live entertainment and dancing. Not all establishments were granted the permission for dancing. So for those who were incorrectly had that added as a part of their approved use, staff is making that correction. In addition, if you do want to have dancing as a permitted use, staff, an amendment to your live entertainment permit is required to include dancing, and that is separate from live entertainment again. And I will note that fees increase beginning July 1st. So you may want to try to get that in. I would say before mid-June, so you get invoice under the current fees if possible. Also, right now, the next available county board hearing dates are early fall September, October timeframe. And note that the county board does not meet in August. With that, we'll move to community feedback. Does anybody have from the community have any feedback or topics of concerns or things that they want to raise with the group?
This is John Carton. I'm going to suggest that Jay Brodsky talk first.
Well, thanks, John. Hi, all. Thanks for coming. I think the only thing I've got to say this time is to agree with Andrew over at Smokecraft. For all of you who've been great neighbors and great participants in this effort, we thank you. Those of you who aren't even here, who never seem to show up, who, don't comply with that part of the condition of their use permit, I don't know what to say. But, for the rest of you, we wish you all the best and hope that this summer continues to be profitable for you all and pleasant for all of us, and we treat each other well.
All right, thank you. John, did you have something to say?
Yeah, Cedric, I'm surprised that code enforcement said there've been no complaints. I know there've been complaints, so I'll just throw that out there. And the second thing is, it sounds like code enforcement and the fire department have been out there about twice a month. And when it starts really getting warm and this crowds start really coming, I think more than twice a month is going to be needed on the weekends, particularly Sunday nights, which often tend to get out of control.
Does code enforcement or fire marshal or public safety have any response to that?
Hi, Cedric. We've been out every other week since the beginning of March. We did the first couple of weeks we did a brochure, and we contacted all the business owner. We instructed them on the noise complaints, and we coach them, and we instruct them on safety and everything else. And we've been coming out every other weekend with the fire marshal and the police, and we did the same exact thing every week. We talk to business owner, and every time we notice a violation or excessive noise, we talk to the business owners or the restaurant manager, and they were complying. They would just, we're sorry, we didn't know, we missed it, whatever. Then we turned down the music. So far, we have not had any complaint. Everybody's been compliant. No issue. Communication is very straightforward. No cases came into the code enforcement inbox or complaint to the code enforcement regarding noise. Now, it might be the complaint may went to the police department. That's a completely different story. But I don't. And then we handle those cases differently. But going out to the CLEG to every other weekend, and we talked to the business owner, we had no complaint, and most of the business owners have been compliant. So if there is an issue, I'll suggest call the code enforcement phone number 703-228-3232 and file a complaint, and we'll be happy to investigate. It will give us a little bit more details on where the issue is, what the issue is, and the complaint is, and then we'll be happy to investigate, and we can try to correct that.
Excuse me, can you let us know what the code enforcement number is again?
703-228-3232, or you can go online to the Arlington County website, and just you can put in the search bar code enforcement or whatever the complaint is, and it will direct you to the code enforcement page, and then you can file a complaint in writing, and then you can add more details to whatever the complaint is. But so far it's been so far our effort with the police department, with the fire marshal, and Captain Dwyer can back me up on that. Everything was positive. The reaction from the business owners was positive, and we worked together. And so far, there's no issue that came up to my attention or anybody else.
Well, what
But
happens
if
if
there
there's
is any issue, but if you have any issue, just please let us know, and then we can handle it from there.
what happens if there's a real-time issue and it's 12 o'clock on a Sunday night? People are trying to get to sleep. Who do we call real time?
That's the real time. You call the police department, and the police department will handle it from there. So
And
if
maybe
if
the
it's a
officer
nighttime,
can tell us.
if it's a nighttime issue, you call the police department, and they will come in and they will handle it. If there is a citation that needs to be issued or anything like that, they will do it. And the police department, they have their own process. I cannot talk more about it, but I don't. So they can chime in and talk.
Well,
then I want to follow.
Let me just tell you, our experience with the police has been, and I understand this, is that noise complaints are very low priority for them. So you can call it in, and they might get to it 2 hours later. They're responding to more serious incidents. So that's not very satisfactory from the neighbor's point of view that's trying to get the kids to sleep.
Okay, all right, John, I want to interject. And maybe Aaron Miller can follow up, or the fire marshal's office can follow up. But I believe the fire marshal's office now has the authority to issue noise violations, and I believe they're out walking the CLEG on a more frequent basis.
Cedric, this is Captain Dwyer. Let me interject here real quick from the fire department side. I'm sorry to correct you on that. We do not have the ability to do noise.
Okay.
However, I would like to speak to the desire to have us and code enforcement out there more often. Unfortunately, and this is a reality, we are limited by budget and we are limited by personnel. And just getting us out there twice a month was a really, really, really heavy lift, but I think it's paying dividends right now. Now, as you state, things may get a little bit worse during the summertime. I don't know. But we are varying the days that we're out, and there are Sundays, especially Sunday afternoons and evenings, included in what we have planned going forward. So hopefully that will help. But we are unfortunately limited by budget and personnel. That is something that is a reality, and I just needed to get that out there. So I thank you.
Thank you, Captain Dwyer. And I will say that with the upcoming budget starting July 1st, that the county board did authorize dedicated funding to this effort. Jay, you see you have your hand up.
Yeah, I do. So I appreciate, Ben, what you're saying here about code enforcement's responsibilities and the noise. But I also note that, you've changed your website to point out specifically that you're not responsible for live entertainment permits. That's zoning's issue. So maybe we could hear from Aaron or Noah. I guess they walked around at the beginning of April, but are they going out on a regular basis? Because, last weekend I was out walking around. One establishment had a DJ and their windows open at 4 o'clock on a Sunday when their permit doesn't allow anything till 9 p.m. Another one had their windows open when they're supposed to keep their windows closed. So who's enforcing that?
Aaron, sure, or Noah.
We usually are the ones that are responsible for that, but we're not just proactive all the time. Like, once we get an okay to come out there, it's not an issue for us to be able to regulate the use permit conditions for those specific locations. So from what I'm hearing, from my understanding, that it is going to be more of a proactive approach moving forward. So I'm assuming that we will be out there more often to catch people in violation.
Likewise.
All right, thank you. Christy.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling on me. I'd like to tag on to the gentleman who was speaking about noise violations and reporting those through the proper channels. I'm a resident in Clarendon, Arlington County, Virginia. There is a new business in that neighborhood that goes by Mr. Days. And frequently, again, I'll double down on some earlier feedback, Sunday afternoons, that particular establishment gets quite rowdy. If there's anyone here from that establishment, I wish you lots of good luck in your new business, but not at the expense of the peace at my residence. In particular, other than Sunday afternoons, there was an event held on March 15th, which that business called Rally in the Alley. They had essentially a block party. Their DJ started sound testing at 11:17 a.m. on March 15th, 2025. And the DJ closed down their booth after 9 p.m. that evening, 10 hours later. Myself, my family, my neighbors were subject to 10 hours of nonstop decibel piercing music on March 15th. I called the non-emergency police line for Arlington County more than one time and was told that they had a permit for their block party. There was nothing for me to do except come to today's meeting and let my feedback be heard by the county board. So that's why I'm here today. I'm here to find out what options we have available to residents to manage noise complaints between areas that are zoned for commercial live entertainment and residences. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that information. I will ask, was this set up outside?
The entertainment was outside. It was in their building. It was outside on their back patio, and it was they blocked off 11th Street in Clarendon for their block party. So the street was blocked to cars. It was blocked for pedestrians. There were police on site. And my understanding is that that was all perfectly okay because they had this permit despite the obtrusive noise.
I would say that sounds like because they had a block party and that will fall under the special events category. That's not subject to live entertainment uses. But I will note that and flag that for with that special events permit, people who may be able to talk with them next time they propose a special event project.
Are there options to request those types of live events not be possible?
You can surely share that with the board, and the board has the authority to place that condition if the county attorney thinks that there's a reason to prohibit that type of activity.
I see. Okay, thank you for that information. Is there another step I need to take other than coming to today's meeting and providing my feedback?
No, as I shared earlier, if you have something to share with the board about the CLEG in general or a specific establishment, you can sign up to speak at the county board hearing next Tuesday. And you can find that information on the county board's webpage, and at the top there'll be two blue buttons that you can sign up to speak. One is for was it May 10th, and then the other is for May 13th. Make sure you select the one that says May 13th.
I see. May 13th. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cedric, for your time.
All right, you're welcome. I saw a question in the chat, Mr. Brodsky. Special event permits, I believe they do have to still conform to the noise ordinance. Any other questions or something from the community? All right. With that, to move forward, there any comments from the restaurant organizations about what they heard or anything new that maybe we're not aware of that you would like to share. All right. So I guess we'll wrap up. Again, the county board hearing is in next Tuesday, May 13th at 6 o'clock. For the restaurant establishments, I'll send out further information about how you can attend that meeting. Again, for residents, you can, if you have a question, concern, or something you want to speak to the county board about regarding these matters, you can sign up. Make sure you select the May 13th hearing, and then you'll be able to be heard next Tuesday at the county board meeting. And those items will start no later than 6 p.m. Again, and the next CLEG meeting will be, the next scheduled CLEG meeting will be fall later this year. Again, go back. Somebody mentioned about how to file a complaint. If you have something public health related, please reach out. You can submit your complaint for rodents through Permit Arlington. Or other restaurant-related complaints can be sent to their website at ehealth@arlingtonva.us. And for all zoning and code enforcement complaints, you can submit that through the Permit Arlington site as well. And again, for restaurant group members, if you have anything, any struggles or anything that you need help with to expand your business or help your business or sustain your business, please reach out to Arlington Economic Development, Biz Lodge, and their small business programs. The number is 703-228-0808, and they'll be willing to help in any way they can. And that concludes this meeting. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me, 703-228-3589. And I'll also be reached by email at csutherland, and that's Sutherland with an O, at arlingtonva.us. If there are no more questions or concerns, that will conclude this meeting. All right, everybody have a good day.
Thank you, Cedric.